Imagine a place where the laughter of children once echoed, now filled only with chilling whispers. Tonight, we venture into an abandoned orphanage, a place rumored to hold the lingering spirit of a child forgotten by time. What we uncovered within those decaying walls will make you question everything you thought you knew about the other side. This isn't just a ghost story. It's an unsolved mystery shrouded in dust and despair. We're talking about the forgotten child's ghost, an entity so persistent it has driven people away from this desolate orphanage for decades. Prepare yourself, because the evidence we found is undeniable and utterly terrifying. Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine when you're alone in an old building? Now imagine that feeling amplified 1,000 times, knowing you're standing in the very spot where a forgotten child's spirit still roams. Join us as we confront the chilling truth behind the orphanage's shadow, a truth that will haunt your dreams. Welcome, we're standing before the imposing structure of the old Blackwood Orphanage. Closed for over 70 years, its windows are like vacant eyes staring out at a world that has moved on. But has everything from its past truly moved on? Local legend speaks of a presence here, the ghost of a forgotten child who still wanders these empty halls. They say on quiet nights you can hear faint crying, the sound of a small ball bouncing in the courtyard, or see a fleeting shadow in the top floor windows. Tonight, we're not just here to tell a story. We're here to listen, to investigate, and to uncover the dark secrets this building has held for so long. We're stepping inside, armed with equipment and a healthy dose of skepticism, to find out what really lies within the orphanage's shadow. Before we explore the paranormal, we must understand the very real human suffering that occurred here. Built in the early 1900s, this orphanage was part of an era where institutions like this were often underfunded and overcrowded. Children were not just orphans. Many were from destitute families who simply couldn't afford to care for them. Life here was harsh. We found archival records describing strict routines, meager meals, and a stark lack of personal affection. One former resident, in an interview from the 1980s, recalled the constant feeling of being just a number. She said, "We were never called by name, just told to line up." The loneliness was the worst part. It felt like a cold that settled deep in your bones and never left. This systemic neglect, this profound sense of being unwanted and unloved, creates an emotional residue. It's an energy, a deep sorrow that soaks into the very fabric of a place. Could this be the foundation for the haunting? A sorrow so deep it refuses to fade away. The moment we step inside, the air changes. It's heavy, still, and unnaturally cold. The smell of decay and damp plaster hangs in the air, but there's something else too, something indefinable. We make our way through the main entryway, our footsteps echoing loudly in the silence. We've set up static cameras throughout the building, but we're starting our sweep here, in what used to be the main dormitory. This is where the children slept, dozens of them packed into this one massive room. The first thing we notice is a sudden, drastic drop in temperature in one specific corner. Our thermal camera shows a cold spot that has no logical source. It's at least 15 degrees colder than the rest of the room. As we investigate, our audio recorder picks up something. A faint, almost imperceptible sound. Let's listen back. Do you hear that? It sounds like a soft whisper, a single syllable we can't quite make out. It's easy to dismiss these things. The mind plays tricks in a place like this. The constant darkness, the creaks and groans of an old building settling, it preys on your fears. But the more time we spend here, the more these small, unexplainable events start to add up, creating a pattern that's hard to ignore. We feel like we're being watched. With the atmosphere growing heavier, we decide to attempt a more direct form of communication. We're in the old playroom now. You can still see faded paintings of animals on the walls, a ghostly reminder of the children who once sought refuge in this space. We're using a spirit box, a device that rapidly scans through radio frequencies. The theory is that spirits can use the white noise and fragments of audio to form words. It's a controversial piece of equipment, but sometimes the results can be startling. We turn it on, and the chaotic static fills the room. We start by asking simple questions, introducing ourselves and stating our respectful intentions. Is there anyone here with us? Can you tell us your name? For several minutes, there's only static. Then, a clear voice cuts through the noise. It's just one word called chills. Absolute chills. We ask again, why are you cold? Are you alone? The responses are fragmented, but we hear what sounds like play and help. It's difficult to know if this is just radio pareidolia or something more. But in this oppressive environment, every potential word feels like a message from the past, a whisper from the shadows we came here to find. Who is this potential spirit? Who is the forgotten child of the legend? Our research led us to the town's historical archives, where we spent days poring over dusty ledgers and brittle newspaper clippings. Records from this era are sparse and often incomplete, but we found a recurring detail in the orphanage's logbooks from the winter of 1934. Several entries mention a young boy named Thomas, about 7 years old, who was frequently ill and often kept in isolation to prevent the spread of sickness. The final entry next to his name is chillingly simple: transferred. There are no further records, no destination, no death certificate, nothing. He simply vanished from the official narrative. Could Thomas be our forgotten child? We focus our investigation on the area of the orphanage that served as the infirmary. There's a small, grim room on the top floor, far removed from the other children. This is where the presence feels the strongest, where the cold spot is most intense, and where we've heard the most distinct sounds of footsteps when no one is there. As we scan the room, our light catches something on the floor, half buried under debris. It's a small, carved wooden bird, clearly handmade. An object a child might have treasured. Holding it, there's a palpable sense of sadness. A forgotten toy for a forgotten boy. With the wooden bird in hand, we decide to conduct one final spirit box session, right here in the infirmary. The air is electric. We place the bird on the floor and ask, is this yours? Were you Thomas? The static crackles, and then a series of responses come through clearer than anything we've heard all night. The words "my toy," "alone," and then a sound that stops us in our tracks. A faint but unmistakable sound of a child's sob. It doesn't come from the box. It comes from the corner of the room. We all heard it. There's no logical explanation. We are the only ones in this building. In that moment, the ghost story became real. It wasn't about a terrifying monster. It was about a profound tragedy. A lonely little boy, sick and isolated, who was seemingly erased from history. Perhaps the haunting isn't malicious. Perhaps it's a cry for remembrance. A desperate attempt by a lost soul to finally be seen, to have his story told, so he is no longer forgotten. Leaving the orphanage, the heavy feeling doesn't immediately lift. The story of Thomas and the countless other children like him stays with you. This investigation became more than a ghost hunt. It became a mission to give a voice to the voiceless. The whispers in the dark, the cold spots, the disembodied sobs. They are the echoes of a real human tragedy, of a system that failed its most vulnerable. The shadow over this orphanage isn't one of malice, but of immense sorrow. It serves as a haunting reminder that we must never forget the histories that are etched into the walls of places like this, and we must never forget the children who lived and suffered within them. By remembering Thomas, by telling his story, we hope we've brought some measure of peace to the lonely spirit in the infirmary. Perhaps now he won't be so forgotten. Thank you for joining us on this incredible and moving investigation. If you believe in the importance of remembering these forgotten histories, please like this video and subscribe for more journeys into the shadows. Stay curious and stay compassionate.